for a great matchup in boys hockey here tonight in the Lake Conference. Number 3 Edina takes on number 2 Wayzata in the first of 2 regular season meetings between the Hornets and the Trojans. Hi, I'm Jay Wilcox, and boy, both teams having great seasons along with fellow conference team Minnetonka, the number 1 team. Wayzata making it this far into January without a loss. They've had ties with Minnetonka and Eden Prairie, and for Edina, just about as good. They had close losses to Benilde and St. Thomas Academy, and they also tied number 1 Minnetonka. Great rivalry matchup as always. We saw these teams at the beginning of the season in the Turkey Trot tournament, but they did not go head-to-head in that event in Thanksgiving time, but going to do battle here tonight before what could be a sold-out crowd here at the Pick. Both teams with a lot of depth, and we're going to pick out a couple of guys to talk about, though, key players in tonight's game. First of all, for the Hornets, Bobby Cowan, one of their seniors, one of 5 guys with 7 or more goals on their team. He's hit double figures with 10 goals and 10 assists, and he's committed to play college hockey at St. Thomas. And for Wayzata, one of their captains, certainly not the biggest guy out there, but he's very crafty and a good shot, Luke Miller. 15 goals for Wayzata, one of 4 guys in double figures for the Trojans. They've been scoring the puck better than they have in most of the recent seasons. One of the reasons why they're still undefeated at this point. And Luke has an outside shot at getting to 100 career points as well if he can continue his good play down the stretch. Well, again, they will meet on the last regular season game over at Braemar as well, and then obviously a good possibility that they could meet in the Section 6 AA tournament as well. But this one is a big one here tonight for sure. They both want to see where they're at this point in the season. The Hornets and the Trojans face off coming up here on CCX. Welcome back. It's a packed house here at the Pick this evening, as you might expect when these 2 rivals go head-to-head. Edina and Wayzata getting set to do battle here. It's a big week for Wayzata too. They hit the road to go up north on Wednesday, as they'll be playing at Roseau on Thursday, and then part of Hockey Day Minnesota on Saturday as they play in Warroad against Moorhead. Couple of superb goalies. Joe Bertram, look at the numbers for him. 1.25 goals against and a 95% save percentage, 3 shutouts. And Evan Turek has been just about equally as good at the other end, 4 shutouts and a .916 save percentage for the big senior for the Trojans. And we are underway as the Trojans get first possession after Alstead wins that draw to begin it. Brooks Gengler will dump it into the Edina zone where Sam Peckham back to get it. Tip to the middle, Gengler floating it down low. Alstead shot was deflected away. Played in behind Barrett Dexheimer, up with it for Edina. Thrown at the net there from out high. Comes loose in the circle, now poked ahead, but re-intercepted there by Warpinski for Edina, and then lofted in deep by Dylan Kermey as the Hornets will make a change. Nearly a takeaway there from Mason West, but the Trojans are now able to get it in deep. Bertram had that one skip past him. Interception there, but it bounced away from Cade D. St. Hubert. D. St. Hubert trying to dig it free here along the wall, and then it deflects over to Miller, but he couldn't get turned around in time to get a shot away.
So a little feeling out process here in the early going here as both teams getting a chance to make a couple of shift changes and get back to battle here. D. St. Hubert wins the draw, back out to his brother there, Finn, trying to shoot it toward the net. Now Miller grabbing it for the Trojans. He turns and fires. Bertram the save. Ooh, the rebound was loose, and then Bertram has to make another stop. Still not able to cover it up as Cade D. St. Hubert was around the crease there trying to tuck that one away. Now the Hornets getting a little opportunity and trying to drag it through there was Jackson Nevers, but couldn't get through all that traffic. Trojans couldn't quite get it out. Nevers playing it ahead now, throwing it out front. It comes to the point. Vellner will send it around. Hawk Huff up with it for the Trojans, able to get it to Finn D. St. Hubert. Looking long up the middle, and that one doesn't connect as he tried to spring Eli Moldy. And so icing against the Trojans here with 14:50 to go in the first. No score on the board, no real great chances yet, although Wayzata was buzzing around the Hornets net, no pun intended there, for a moment earlier on that last shift. Hornets won the draw but couldn't get one on net there as Risto played it toward the corner. Moldy getting it out to center. Peckham intercepting there for the Hornets, and he'll bank it back in, the talented sophomore. Not a lot of juniors on this Edina team. They got a lot of seniors, a lot of sophomores, not so many in the middle of that group. Good work along the wall, and the shot taken there. Turek will glove it as Risto firing that puck from out high. Another look at it as the Hornets have done a nice job on the forecheck here, not letting Wayzata easy out there. That one would have been wide anyway, but not going to take any chances. There was Turek. Hornets able to win the draw, back to the point. Peckham trying to float that one through. Instead it was blocked. Good recovery though by Edina to keep that one from being a chance the other way. Now it's poked into the zone. Gengler up with it. He fires, and Bertram had to fight that one off. Centering try there is jumping in his Alstead to pick it up. Reese Wallen takes a check but stayed with it. Wallen now firing from a short angle, flips the rebound out front. Alstead throwing a check there into Flaherty. Now Flaherty up with it for the Hornets. Ryan Flaherty cutting it hard to the middle. Chopped away from him though, and here comes Gengler back up that right side. Pass intercepted and then flicked into the bench as Vellner picked it off for the Hornets. Another look at this opportunity as Gengler comes up with it and got away a high shot that Bertram, that one kind of snuck up on him a little bit. He did a good job fighting it off though. Moldy and Warpinski on this draw. Hornets have been good on faceoffs in the early going. Obviously the lake is tough every year, but boy, you got Minnetonka, Edina, and Wayzata really at the top of their game this year. It's been a fun league at the top, and obviously EP is pretty good too. Heavy check thrown there behind the net by Hoke. Floats this one out to center, and nicely done by George Erickson. First with the skate, then the stick. Dumped in deep there by Ben Kieran. Moldy throwing a hit there for the Trojans. Played around the other way, a reversal for Charles Vellner. Vellner will dump it in, and he didn't quite reach the center line, though. It's going to be an icing call against the Hornets, so they're keeping him to a high standard there. Just needed about another half stride and dumped that one in, so get a face-off. There's a look at Kurt Giles, the Hornets head coach. Feeling pretty good about things, but he doesn't change much what he tells us year to year with this club. But no, they're both teams playing very well. Bounces away now toward Nevers. Hornets not able to get in deep on the initial try, then Nevers plays it in. Long pass there, intercepted nicely by Barrett Dexheimer, leading the rush back the other way, drops it off. And that shot blocked as West fired. West up with it again. Now it comes right back to him for a third time. Overskated there by Halverson. And Huff up with it for the Trojans. Miller got it ahead. Nice pass across to Gengler from Cade D. St. Hubert. Peckham playing it ahead there to Risto. Interrupted there at the blue line. Alex Score back to pick it up for the Trojans. Now to Gengler. Gengler looking all the way across. Wallen for Alstead out front. Oh, and his backhander is just wide. It's a broken stick in their zone too. Nice little setup for the Trojans and a great opportunity there, but they couldn't quite get it on net. Now Risto firing. That one goes up over the cage. Wayzata looking to counter as Alstead did battle, but neither guy came up with the puck there. Now across to Vellner. Vellner will float it in for the Hornets. Flicked up high up the middle, trying to send it for Alstead. Matson able to dig it free. Alstead helping out, but they get all bunched up. Nice job to jump in. Here's an opportunity in tight. Owen Bertram denying the chance for Max Ludke. Timed that one perfect as he jumped in at the blue line. And a second, sort of mini breakaway for Wayzata in the last minute and a half. Finn D. St. Hubert firing, and that one went off Bertram's blocker and then off his D. That he was hoping to direct that one to the corner. Another look at this pass all the way across. Alstead lets it go through to Wallen, and then he floats it to Alstead. I thought that one was going to be in, but not sure if Bertram got a little piece of it or not. And then here's a good play by Max Ludke coming in. Tried to go 5-hole and nearly snuck that one through, but you can see why Bertram has got the numbers he's got with a couple of those plays. Off the draw, that shot fired, but into traffic. 7-1 edge in shots for Wayzata. They've played a pretty solid first period here and starting to get some chances. It's one of the better offensive teams that they've had for many years here. Only 3 times have they been held to 3 goals or less. Everything else is 4 and above, and that's obviously both these teams have played very good schedules too, so you're not seeing a lot of these numbers being skewed by people scoring 10 or 12 against a really weak opponent either. Drop back across to Dexheimer. Pass tipped into the Wayzata zone. Carson Clark back to retrieve. Miller tipping it over to Cade D. St. Hubert, trying to get wide, but well played by Vellner. Back out to the point. Carson shooting, and that one got all the way through, and Bertram a stop. Matson gets a return pass here. D. St. Hubert to Miller and over to Matson. That one floating wide. Wayzata's really picked things up. Been able to string together a series of good shifts one after the other, and that's kind of how they've been this year. And Pat O'Leary said he just is happy with the effort. He's not surprised. He said we knew we had a very good senior leadership group this year, and they're bringing it night in and night out. And obviously, again, with the schedule they've played, to have 0 losses at this point in the year is saying something. It's pretty unexpected. Alstead wins the draw. Gengler's shot was blocked. Huff retrieving in the neutral zone, and he'll dump it back in. Bertram unable to completely stop it there. Alstead trying to pick that one off. Good recovery by Mason West, or that one could have been trouble. Thrown back into the Hornet zone. Vellner up with it for Edina. Alstead trying to dig that one free. Played over to the corner. Wallen in after it. Alstead jumping in to help out. Wallen throwing a hit there, but the Hornets get it out anyway. And then intercepted by Huff, and he'll relay it right back in. Bertram stopping it. Wallen with a hit. And freed up. Boy, almost an opportunity for Kieran there. But fell down after that collision. Hitting has started to pick up a little bit. West carrying it in for Edina. Then his pass off Nevers' skate. Moldy dumps it in and then takes a hit. Good pace to this one early on. Some hitting, but clean play, at least to this point. That pass off a skate and then dumped down. Races on. See if they'll keep it as an ice here. Nope, waved off late, and as it should have been. Under 8 to play in the first. No score on the board. An 8-1 edge in shots, though, for Wayzata as they've played a solid first period here. Down to the corner, picked up out front. Oh, and D. St. Hubert trying to get it to Matson, but he couldn't get a shot on as his stick was tied up. Matson trying to dig that puck free, and it'll come out to Huff at the point. His shot was denied. And Matson deflecting that pass away. Hornets have been forced to play more D than they would like in this first period here, especially as the period has gone on. Wayzata getting the puck in deep and going to work. Hornets have been solid, though. They haven't allowed a lot of, grade A chances, but there definitely have been a few that Bertram's had to stop. Casey Vandertop will face off with Alstead here. Gengler took a hit as he got it in. Bertram able to stop it there for Vellner. His pass hitting his teammate. And now Gengler coming up with it. Takes a check, but stayed on his feet. Ooh, nice interception at the line and then thrown toward the net. Wallen was bumped. Alstead trying to go back to Wallen. That pass, though, picked off by Vellner. And intercepted at center by Alex Score. Right back to Wallen. He will float it in. Pretty relentless forecheck here by Wayzata in this first period. Floated to center where Score knocks it down, and then he was knocked down, and that one's going to be our first penalty of the game coming up here against the Hornets. It was too tempting as Score was coming in to play that puck with the glove. And our first penalty will be a trip on Ryan Flaherty of the Hornets. As you see a Score dropping that puck down to himself, and then Flaherty just didn't have the stick in a great spot there, and he'll be called for the trip. So Wayzata gets a power play opportunity. They're scoring at about 24%. Very good number. Maybe not quite as high as you'd think as a team with their record has, but certainly not a bad number by any means. Over to Huff. Here's Matson. D. St. Hubert. Cade D. St. Hubert, that is, putting it out front. Ooh, Matson with the deflection, and then floated out off of Huff's glove. Huff ran into a little traffic, so he spins back out of there. Finn D. St. Hubert will carry it in. Sliding it back to Huff, and then around the horn it comes for Miller, and that one hitting traffic. Back out top they come. Huff looking back across. Here's the shot by Miller. Bertram the save. Matson was there in front doing a little battle, and here's where you kind of want to turn away if you're Wayzata. You don't want to take a penalty and even things up, and that's exactly what they did. So 1:08 to go in the power play. Good job setting up. working that puck side to side and getting an opportunity there, but Bertram looking calm and collected there as he made that stop. Off the draw, Hornets able to get to it, trying to ring it out, but Moldy jumps in along the wall to keep it in the zone, and now Alstead. Back across to Moldy, shooting. Bertram a blocker save, and the Trojans able to get to it and keep it in. Wallen passing it down toward the corner, and now the Hornets do get it out. Carson Clark back as the second power play unit's on for Wayzata. Moldy whipping it across toward Alstead. Here's Reese Wallen, turns and fires. Bertram knocked that down with the glove. Clark back to Wallen, across to Moldy. Didn't handle it real clean, so that cost him a chance to take that shot. Clark's going to tee it up and let it rip, and that one deflecting away. Under 20 to go in the power play. Wayzata getting a few opportunities, and now the Hornets able to clear it, and that should eat up most of the remaining penalty time. Clark picking it up here for Wayzata. Finds Luke Miller. Miller's going to dump it in. Penalty is over, so the Hornets able to kill off the first penalty of the game. Although some things to like on that power play, I thought, for Wayzata. Miller tipping it free. Here's Matson shooting, and Bertram a glove save on that one. Another look at this is Moldy getting the opportunity, and that one off the blocker of Bertram. Trying to go up high on the stick side, and Bertram as a left-handed goalie, it's a little bit different look, and tried to sneak that one up high, stick side. Boy, he's been sharp so far. Intercepted behind the net. Ooh, and that deflection came right out front. Bertram sweeping it aside as Matson, right place at the right time to pick that one off, and did a right thing by putting it right out front. And I thought it was a smart play by Bertram not to try to cover that. It was just looking for a chance to take a bad bounce there, and instead he just swept it out of there. Matson will float it into the corner here for the Trojans. Good first period for Wayzata. You're thinking right now, though, they might feel like, gosh, we should have capitalized perhaps. 14-1 shots edge right now. But you never feel bad if you're playing a good period. Uh-oh, here comes Nevers to the middle, firing. That one deflecting away. Kept in at the line, played down deep as Cowan chasing after it. Kieran controlling for the Trojans, tried to get it in deep, but his stick was chopped. Now it comes loose though to Moldy. Moldy rips a shot high up and over the net. He gets it back here, puts it in the slot. Kieran the shot, and the rebound jammed out, and Bertram able to cover it up with 2:41 to go in the first. Mostly Wayzata here in this first period, but we are still scoreless. Hornets and Trojans at zeros. Here's a look at this play when Matson slides it out front. It went off the defenseman's skate, and right there I thought was a really smart play by the goalie Bertram to just slide that one out of there with his stick. And then that last opportunity by Kieran. Looks like they're going to throw both centermen out of there. So Wallen will take the draw against Flaherty. Dexheimer picking it up, had his pocket picked. And then knocked away though, and here's Flaherty up the right wing for the Hornets. He'll throw it in and hustle after it himself. Flaherty trying to play it to the point, but it was Gengler there for the interception. Now finds Wallen, sliding it up front. Here's Clark. Oh, and he hits the pipe. The defenseman jumping in to join the play, and he beat Bertram but hit the pipe. Well, they've had some near misses. That would probably be the nearest of all. And now the Hornets trying to counter quickly. Pass back out front, turnaround try, and the stop made by Turek, who hasn't been terribly busy, obviously, in this first period, but he was ready for that one. Under 2 to play in the first, still at 0-0. Wayzata Pretty dominant first period, though, considering. And now we've got a couple guys mixing it up at center. Gengler and Vellner were tied up, and see if they might take them both here. Kind of looks that that's going to be the case. See if I would kind of expect maybe both for roughing, but Vellner trying to sneak over to the bench, and they got him though. So we will stay at 5 aside as they take both guys. I think they gave them a little time to kind of separate, and it just didn't happen. They were tied up and tangled up, and take them both. Finn D. St. Hubert playing it behind the net. Tipped ahead, here's an opportunity, and Cade D. St. Hubert's shot deflect over the net. Another look at this last play that led to these penalties is Gengler throwing the check and tying him up, and then they kind of got tangled up from there. I think they were still going to be okay at that point, but they didn't. Neither guy. Once you get tangled up, you kind of don't want to be the first guy to let the other up, and they just kept at it a little bit too long. Cross ice pass there, but scorer won the race to that puck. Now Matson firing. Bertram the save there. Matson a sneaky shot from the circle for the Trojans. Face-off coming up in the Edina zone, where quite a bit of this first period's been played. But Trojans don't have anything on the board to show for it of yet. Out shooting the Hornets 17-2, but we're at 0-0 still on the scoreboard. Bertram has been great. Nevers trying to get that puck out and does. And the follow-up now. Here's Cowan sliding it across. Nevers then trying to center it. It went off the side of the net as we go under a minute to play in the first period. Alstead dropping it back just a little behind Wallen. Now Nevers going for Cowan the other direction. Cowan dragging it to the front. Never really got a shot away though. Huff staying with him. Deflects to the circle there. Moldy coming away with it for Wayzata. Now Wallen. He will dump it in, and they want to change here. Half minute to go in the period. Played over to Cowan. Ahead now to Cade D. St. Hubert, trying to get one last good rush in. Sliding it to Miller, he shoots, and Bertram the stop there for the Hornets with 9 seconds left in this first period. Wayzata doing another nice job. D. St. Hubert drew the D to him, Miller firing. Obviously that's a save that more often than not a goalie like Bertram's going to stop, but you never know, you can get a rebound or Hornets able to control the draw and flick it back out. And that's going to do it for this opening period of play. I think safe to say Edina glad that to get a little bit of a break into the end of the period here, as it was a very strong period for the Trojans here on their home ice. However, they don't put anything past Bertram. Our score after one here at Plymouth Ice Center is Edina 0 and Wayzata 0. We'll have first period highlights and stats, and then our second period of hockey coming up. It's a great atmosphere, packed house here at Plymouth Ice Center.
CCX Media, your source for great local programming, is available on Amazon Fire TV, Apple TV, and Roku. Our free app allows you to stream all 3 of our channels live. You also have access to a large on-demand library, including full sporting events and daily newscasts. To find us, go to the store, search CCX, and download our free app. Then sit back and enjoy all of your favorite local content. The CCX Media app, available on Amazon Fire TV, Apple TV, and Roku.
Great crowd on hand here at Plymouth Ice Center to watch number 3 Edina and number 2 Wayzata do battle. We are at 0-0 after the first period, although that score doesn't really tell the tale of how the period was. It was a mostly Wayzata period as we check out some of the highlights from that first period. And a good thing for Edina that Joe Bertram was sharp and ready, because he faced some good opportunities like that one. Britton Alstead just wide on the backhander there after Wallen's nice feed. And then Ludke jumping in, gets a little mini breakaway of his own, almost tucks that one in. And then here's a nice blocker save by Bertram as Moldy fired, and that puck deflecting out front and then just swept out of there. Trojans have been good in many facets, forechecking, but also on the rush. This defenseman Clark hitting the pipe here as he jumped in to join the play. Square into the goalpost, and you see, I can't imagine there's too many games in recent years where Edina's been outshot 18-2 in a period. However, excellent goaltending, and they didn't panic. I mean, you didn't get the feeling ever that they were running around, not being unsure of themselves or anything like that. They still played pretty solid defensively, but they would like to have a much better period than they did, and they're going to need to as the game goes on. For Wayzata, you have to just make sure you don't get frustrated, because honestly, there was a lot to like in how they played. Just not quite able to put anything past Bertram, and obviously hitting the one pipe as well. We'll take a timeout and come back here with more high school hockey, Lake Conference style here. Two of the best in the state going head-to-head as Edina and Wayzata are at 0-0 through one period. Welcome back here to Plymouth Ice Center, as the sign says, home of the Trojans. And Trojans hockey has been blessed by one family going back a number of years, and they've got some family connections on this year's team as well, with the Alstead family and also Eli Moldy. And John Jacobson of CCX had a chance to visit them for a CCX Sports Spotlight story. Let's take a look at that.
It's another day at the rink for the Wayzata boys hockey team. Most of these guys have spent countless hours on skates and practices and games since they were little. But four of them in particular share a bond that goes beyond hockey. Senior forward number 20, Britton Alstead, and his younger brother Ryder, number 34, are first cousins to senior goalie Gage Alstead, number 1, and sophomore forward number 26, Eli Moldy. The fact that all four are either varsity or junior varsity players this season is pretty fun.
Something that obviously we've all kind of been dreaming about since we were little. Like, obviously just making the team, but then being able to all be on at the same time is really cool.
We've all just kind of like grown together and kind of like all helped each other like grow and develop, and it's just been really great having like a sidekick or duo. Like, Eli's my age, we've been doing it together basically, and Britton and Gage are the same age, so they've been doing it together too.
Britton has the most varsity experience of the four and currently leads the unbeaten Trojans in assists and is one of the team's leading scorers.
If I ever have questions, he's been through it. He's been doing this for 3 years. If I ever have questions, I just ask him, and he'll tell me what he thinks on the subject.
And it's not just at the arena for games and practices that you'll find these four. The other three cousins often gather to play at Eli's house on nights or weekends.
Eli's got a pond in his backyard, so maybe twice a week he'll say, "Gage, come grab your stuff. We want to shoot on you." Usually get hit in the head a couple times out there, but yeah, it's just a great time, and being able just to like all the cousins out there at once. You don't really get that a lot.
He makes the rink, and we all help build it, and over there basically every night, losing pucks, shooting over the net. and hit Gage in the face a couple times, but yeah, it gets really fun.
And these aren't the first athletes from their family to don the blue and gold for Wayzata. Britton and Ryder's dad Ryan, that's him on the right, and Gage's dad Brady on the left, played hockey and graduated from Wayzata in the early 1990s. The youngest Alstead sibling of that generation, Tiffany, is mom to Eli and now sister-in-law to Megan, Britton and Ryder's mom. Tiffany and Megan both played soccer at Wayzata. The Alstead boys of the 90s played a big role in getting the current generation ready to play.
My dad especially, and Gage's dad, they've coached us all the way up. I think my dad was my head coach. First year playing hockey, up almost all the way. He helped coach Ed and helped out on the ice, so it's really special. Neither of my parents played hockey. I really kind of got into hockey because of my cousins and because my uncles played hockey, and I just kind of started skating and loved it and kind of just playing ever since.
They all have that kind of work ethic, kind of just, rink rat mentality. I think that comes from having family, that is in the game or brothers that are in the game. And, Gage is a goaltender, so it's obviously different, but he comes from goalie lineage as well. And so I think it's just a good family that, just loves to be around the rink and really bleeds the blue and gold.
The Wayzata teams from Ryan and Brady's era never made it to the state high school tournament. More recently, the Trojans last made state 3 years ago. To make it this year, with this unique family connection, it's not only a goal, we hope it will become a dream come true.
I think that'd be a unique experience. Not many people get to experience something like that. So I think that would just be awesome. Hopefully we can do it this year.
Thanks, John, and what a great family, the Alsteads. And John and I have been around long enough that we called some games of hockey and soccer of the elder generation of Alsteads as well. 0-0, Edina and Wayzata here in the first intermission at Plymouth Ice Center. We'll come back with more here, see if the Trojans can keep it up and try and put a couple past Bertram, or if the Hornets have an answer here in period number 2.
CCX Media is the first place you go for local news and sports. But did you know you can sign up for those stories to go straight to your inbox on our website? Simply go to ccxmedia.org. Click on the subscribe button, and from there choose which notifications you want to receive. Then we'll send your favorite CCX Media news, sports, and city events straight to your inbox. Sign up now at ccxmedia.org.
So look at Coach O'Leary and the Trojans as they break their huddle here, getting set for period number 2. If you're just joining us, it is 0-0, but Wayzata badly outplaying Edina in that first period. Some great stops by Bertram, a couple of near misses, but overall a pretty good first period for the Trojans. Edina liking to turn that around a little bit here in this second period, as they were back in their own defensive zone a lot more than they would have liked in that first. Nevers carrying it in, drops it off for West, but Huff able to poke check that away. Cade D. St. Hubert picking it up for the Trojans. Now Nevers the interception for Edina. Huff floating it long, high bouncing puck and into the Edina zone there where Peckham gathers it. Can't get it out here. Finn D. St. Hubert firing, and that one right into the chest of Bertram. And I believe Edina locker room was not the most pleasant place in that first intermission. Guys, I mean, it wasn't that they were making a lot of critical, huge mistakes or anything, but just generally outplayed overall. That first period had trouble getting the puck out of their zone, and Gengler trying to free it up here. Now ahead to Cowan. Nice little sidestep, tried to get it across, but Finn D. St. Hubert, a good stick to break that one up. Gengler tipping it in. Alstead trying to pick it up there, regathered though by Dexheimer, and then West jumps in to help him out. Gets Nevers started up the left side. He's all alone as they're looking to change, and now Wallen. Alstead floating it out front. Finn D. St. Hubert, though, is tied up by Peckham. And now Gengler hustling back the other way. Trojans trying to turn it back, and here they come. Alstead carrying it in deep. Alstead looking for a trailer, and now finds him. Oh, and that one was a great opportunity. Just on was Kieran. Really good job to wait on that play, and Kieran not going to get many better chances than this. He's all alone in front. And just deflecting up and out of play. Trojans win the draw here. That shot hitting traffic. Moldy back down toward the corner. Around to Hoke. And pass deflected. And it floats to the front. Oh, Carson almost had a little trouble with it there as he was being pursued by Flaherty. And that one goes all the way through. Flaherty back up with it for the Hornets. Just out of the reach of Vandertop. Clark. Pass intercepted and dumped back in deep there by Hoke. Carson Clark up with it. Wisely reverses it. There were 3 Edina guys on that side. Now Matson. Banking it ahead, but intercepted. Erickson sliding it across. Carried in by K.D. St. Hubert. And now the Hornets looking to quickly counter as Hoke throws it across. It was deflected, so no ice there as the Hornets changing up. Matson will chip that one in. Bertram had to get away from him just a little bit. Plays it up the wall, but intercepted. D. St. Hubert over from Miller. That one bounces out high. And now West gaining control here. Drops it off to Cowan. Oh, and then looking for Nevers. His tip went wide as it was out front of him just a bit. Bouncing puck right up the middle here. Peckham. Cowan coming back to get it. Matson trying to dig that puck free. And that pass was a little too far. It's going to be icing against the Hornets. And we'll come back into the Edina zone. 13:24 to go in the second. Still a scoreless hockey game. I don't think Wayzata's dominated quite as much in the early part of the second as they did in the first, but still have only allowed 2 shots on goal in this game officially on the board. Alstead gaining control. Pass intercepted though by Peckham. Opportunity for the Hornets here, and a nice back check by Clark though as Halverson tried to slide it out front. Alstead trying to go across but intercepted there by Hoke. Just haven't seen anything sustained at all from Edina. It looks like this one might be an opportunity, but then Clark coming over to break up that pass. If Halverson's a left-handed shot instead of a righty there, that one would have been a possible good opportunity from the circle, but did not work out for him. Floated in deep here. Quentin Schaefer going after it. Clark took a hit. And puck dug free. Here's a chance there, and a near miss for the Hornets as Warpinski fired. Hornets seem like they're looking to take the body a little bit more perhaps in the second period to get things going a little bit. That's going to be icing against the Trojans. And we'll come back as this may be Edina's best opportunity of the game right here. In tight and just getting a piece of it was Turek. He just hasn't had much work tonight. Sometimes you worry about that a little bit. If are they really into the flow of the game? score, banking that ahead toward Moldy, but intercepted there. Oof. Check taken by Schneider, but he got it in. Puck deflected to the corner. Bertram is out to play it. He'll ring it around here and gets it through, and that creates a little bit of an opportunity. Halverson, but solid back check there as he was knocked down by Lidke. Kieran tipping it over to Moldy and knocked down there. No penalty. Hornets looking to counter. 4-on-3, but they were offside. And that's kind of how the night's gone for Edina. Not a lot of good rushes up ice. You see the shots heavily favoring Wayzata. Although, as I mentioned, this second period does not feel like the ice is tilted as much as it was in the first. Edina has certainly battled back to even things up more than things were for a good chunk of that first period anyway. Off of Findy St. Hubert's glove, it comes over to Clark. And Hornets take it away at center. They've done a much better job in the neutral zone here, sniffing out some of these Wayzata rushes. Findy St. Hubert playing it ahead there. Madsen tried to dig it loose, and Hornets able to get it in. Ryan Flaherty. Flaherty picking it up. Protects the puck here. Now he'll go to the point with it. There's a shot on, and Turek a pad save. Madsen tipping it ahead. Here's Miller. Miller floating it out front. Oh, it went off the defenseman and nearly got by Bertram as it changed directions in front of him, and he got the pad down though to make the stop. Almost with these good goalies, you almost have the feeling that it's going to take one like that maybe to go in, as you see the pass deflecting off the defenseman Bellner, and goalies hate those obviously, but he was in good enough position that he was still able to make the stop. Trojans win the draw. Huff firing, and that one sneaking all the way through to the corner. Gengler blocking that long pass. Dexheimer throwing it ahead. Nevers carrying it in. Across for Cowan. He tips it in deep. Bounce past everybody there, and they can't get it out. Here's a shot sailing over the net from Cowan. Nevers flicking it back to the point. A shot on, ooh, and Turek a stop, but a big rebound. Edina definitely coming with more jump here in the second period. They're taking the body, and right now probably having the better of the play here these last handful of shifts. Here comes Alstead. That one sails high and wide. Huff playing it back down deep toward Alstead. Wallen tried to leave it for Gengler, but it was behind him. Nevers leading the rush the other way. Cutting it back across the middle, but got away from him, and Wallen picks it up for Wayzata. Wallen, a drop pass there, but then off the skate of Moldy. Both teams making mistakes near the blue line there, and I think there was a little bit of fatigue setting in too. They were near the end of shifts. That one floated up high and over the net into the netting. So another whistle here, 9:24 to go in the second. Edina and Wayzata still at 0-0. Been very much a Wayzata first period. Edina has played a better second. Definitely more jump in their skates here of late, but still not a lot of, not even good chances, but not even a lot of shots on net. That'll be an icing call against the Trojans as that pass misfired, but they are not clicking nearly as much as they did in the first. Wayzata. Morpinski and Moldy facing off here. Morpinski able to win it, and that shot never made it through traffic. Eli Moldy gaining control for Wayzata. Findy St. Hubert unable to get it out. Here's a chance out front. Oh, and that one deflecting just off as a great opportunity for Schaefer. This time they'll get it out, but it's going to be icing as Kieran jabbing that one. And really kind of for the first time tonight, we're seeing Wayzata back on their heels and a little bit tentative. Here's another look at this opportunity for Schaefer. Great play to keep that one in, and then good vision to get it to him. And that one, I think, just went wide. I didn't really think Turek, did it hit the outside of the pipe? I didn't think that Turek got it, but very near miss for the Hornets. It's going to be icing against Wayzata. I don't think they really meant to clear that one, but kind of whacked it down the ice, and we'll come right back into that same circle for another faceoff. See if we can get a little bit better. I've seen it a few different angles and still kind of unable to tell if Turek got a piece. I think it definitely hit the outside of the pipe, but then you could see Schaefer's head going back like, oh, near miss there. Turek, as I said, big goaltender, 6'3", 180. So not a lot of net to shoot at there. Edina has to like the way they're playing a lot better now than what they would have said after the first. However, we're still at zeros. Oh, there's a giveaway and a good recovery defensively by Score to get a piece of that one and bail out his partner there, Clark. Clark up with it. Tip to center. Dexheimer knocks it down. Halverson, oh, they got a little bunched up there. Matson able to force it out of the zone. Ooh, and then Matson took a high stick in the face that they didn't see. Clark, that's going to be a penalty against the Trojans. He locked up Halverson, and he is going to go. Probably a hold or interference. It's interference against Clark. And the trend for Wayzata not nearly as good as it was in that first period. Edina got a lot more jump going now, and you see right here Clark kind of getting into the body there, and Halverson helping to sell that one by going down. Not to say it was a dive by any means, but he was held up, and so Edina will get its first power play of the night. Wayzata had one earlier penalty, but they were coincidentals on roughing. So the Hornets have been playing much better. We'll see what they can do on this power play. West shot off of Wallen's body, but Trojans unable to get it out. Dexheimer, shot goes wide. Comes back out high again to Dexheimer. Now Cowan is chased back. Wallen lost his stick though. Dexheimer back across from West to Cowan. That one whiffed on. Dexheimer with it out high. Shot there that sails up and over the net. West sliding it across. Wayzata content to really pack it back in. Not allow much room in front of the net. Dexheimer giving it to Cowan. Whips it across to West, and that one sailing wide. And then it deflects past Cowan and down the rink. Wayzata looking to quickly get a change. So good zone possession time on the power play for Edina, but not really a lot of clean looks at the net so far. That one was tipped. Score didn't think so. He thought it was going to be icing on the Hornets, but they say it was touched. Now Matson, short-handed, going to be first to this one. Trying to put it out front, but it was blocked as D. St. Hubert was flying down the slot. So they don't get that chance there, but they do eat up some valuable time. Only 20 seconds to go on the power play now for Edina. Hornets will dump it in. Flaherty checked by Matson, but they can't get it out. Across. Oh, tic-tac-toe and a goal there as Ryan Flaherty buries the pass from Halverson. And the Hornets will strike first with just 6 seconds to go on the power play. Badly outplayed in the first, but great tic-tac-toe passing there for Edina. Right here, nice job. And Matson trying to free it up after that forecheck, but then glove down. Really a great pass here too. And Flaherty able to put it away. His 6th goal of the year. Peckham and Halverson will get the assist on that goal, a power play goal for Flaherty. So, yeah, you see this happen sometimes. One team has kind of had the better of things for a long time, but then it's the other scoring first. So Flaherty putting the Hornets on the board. Not a whole lot that Turek could have done on that one. Just great passing side to side. Alstead tipping it ahead. Seems like the Trojans getting fired up a little bit by seeing Edina score that one, as they have got a little more jump back in their step. Battle for it in the corner here. Hornets able to dig it free and played back down deep. It gets by Huff. Wall and across for Gengler. He's got Alstead coming up the middle. Try to get it to him. Nice job by Vellner to jump in and break that up though. Ooh, Vellner hooked that a little bit, but he tried to bring it out front. He got away with it. Nevers. Ooh, nice little foot pass to himself. Nevers trying to drag it to the front, and Turek making a save. And Jackson Nevers showing why he's one of the more dangerous players around the state. Whew, that was nice. Turek stuck with it though. Watch this little flip pass to himself, but then this is even just as good, turning the corner on Huff, but Turek sliding over with him. Matson plays it into the Edina zone here. Under 5 minutes to go in the second now. 1-0 Edina, power play goal after they were pretty well dominated in the first period. They played much better so far here in the second, and it ultimately led to the chance that gave them the lead. Floated to the front here. Turek will knock that one to the corner. Flaherty playing it down low. Now Score coming away with it for Wayzata. Matson getting it ahead for Miller. Miller puts on the brakes, now fires, and right over the top of the cage. Trying to go up over the shoulder of Bertram. Miller, backhander there now. Matson trying to go to the net. It squirts out front, but taken by Dexheimer. Flaherty carrying it in here for the Hornets. Flaherty going to the net, and he scores again. Beautiful little flip shot by Flaherty. Well disguised there, and he sneaks it by Turek, and it's 2-0 Hornets. Flaherty, boy, his guys are fired up at this one. As Dexheimer leading the rush. Now watch this great move by Flaherty. Looks like they forced him out wide, but he brought it back to his forehand. That was just gorgeous. I thought Score had, initially played that pretty well defensively, but just nice timing on that shot too. He really caught Turek off guard. So 2 goals, a little over 2 minutes apart for the Hornets, both coming from Mr. Ryan Flaherty, and the Hornets go up 2-0. First one was great passing. Second one was Flaherty by himself pretty much after receiving that breakout pass, doing a heck of a job on the rush. Findy, St. Hubert knocked down, but he gets right back up and keeps possession, then took a check from Warpinski. And we're going to have a penalty coming up against the Hornets, as Kermey will go for a trip. So Edina capitalized on the Wayzata penalty for their first goal. We'll see what the Trojans can do here as they get a power play fairly late in the period. And they could certainly use one to try and cut this lead in half. Alstead winning the draw. Back to Moldy. Clark. Dropping it over to Reese Wallen. Wallen firing. That one hit the defenseman. And then the Hornets able to clear it out as Vellner with the shot block there for the Hornets. Alstead getting ahead of steam here as he carries it in on the power play. Alstead putting it out front. Here's Gengler shooting. That one deflects to the corner as Moldy was knocked down out front. Alstead. Clark keeps it moving to Wallen. Tried to go way across. It went off a Hornets skate. They keep it in though. Clark. Wallen shooting. Tried to go glove side there but missed the net, and Clark will have to track it down. Wallen carries it in. Wallen going to the net. He fires, and Bertram making a save. Wallen got good reach, good stick handler. Kind of turned the defenseman around a little bit there and got a pretty good opportunity from in close, but Bertram has been lights out. You see right there, Wallen carrying it to the middle, and that's one where you make a little bit of a mistake defensively and it turns into a scoring chance right there for Reese Wallen. Under a minute to go on the power play here for the Trojans. Cade D. St. Hubert. Miller back up top to Finn D. St. Hubert and Miller again. Down low to Cade D. St. Hubert. Here's Huff from the circle and he scores. Not sure if it was deflected. It might have been Matson, but either way, Wayzata will be on the scoreboard first. Looks like Matson does get the deflection. And the Trojans net one on the power play. Another look as it comes out high, and then watch Matson camped out front and gets a piece of that one for his 12th of the season. Huff and Cade D. St. Hubert get the assists on that goal, the power play goal at 15:06, number 12 on the year for Matson, and Wayzata really needed that one. And they're looking for more. Here's Huff. That shot deflecting wide. Long rebound comes out to center. Ooh, nice play by Finn D. St. Hubert. Then Nevers knocked that one out of midair. Cowan receiving it here at center. Knocked down. Ooh, Cowan. They knocked Finn D. St. Hubert down there. Nevers back up with it. Deflecting around off bodies here as we're under a minute to play in the period. 2-1 Edina. Each team getting a power play goal in this period. And then a even strength goal for the Hornets as well. Alstead knocking that one down. Carries it in and he wants a change there. Hornets looking to quickly counter. Nevers leaving it for Cowan. Slides it out front and tipped in. Oh my, another great goal on the slick passing play for the Hornets. And deflected home there by Freddie Schneider. Boy, we go all that time with no goals, and now they're coming fast and furious. See the long headman passer, and watch when Nevers to Cowan floats it across, and Schneider got his stick free to deflect that one home. Be his 9th goal of the season. And so now 3-1. Boy, a strange second period. Edina was badly outplayed in the first, but they have come on strong in the second, and they will end up with a 3-1 lead. And I'll tell you what, the physical play is really heating up down the stretch of this period as well. So, entertaining second period, especially if you're a fan of the green and white. Edina leading at 3-1 after 2. We'll have second period highlights and then our third period of hockey coming up. You're watching Lake Conference Hockey here on CCX Sports. Welcome back here to a jam-packed Plymouth Ice Center where Edina leads Wayzata 3-1 after 2 periods. We had a scoreless first period that was mostly Wayzata. The second period turned around quite a bit as the Hornets coming out much stronger as we check out highlights from the second period. And really, all the goals were pretty nice ones too. You get a look at it, was kept in nicely there, and then the pass sliding across to Flaherty. Great job by Halverson to spot him going to the net. That was late in a power play, gave him 1-0 lead. And then after Wayzata gets a near chance here, Dexheimer starts Flaherty back the other way, and a great individual effort here by Flaherty. Watch him kind of almost pass it to himself there and just flick it past Turek. And that one came just a couple minutes after the first one. Gave him a 2-0 lead. Then a deflection by Matson as Wayzata got a power play of its own. Huff shooting, Matson the deflection. And the Trojans were back in it at 2-1, but Edina getting another nice passing play late. Cowan disguising what he was going to do there and just sliding it across to Schneider. And he is able to tip that one in. So we had all 4 of those goals coming in a span of less than 6 minutes. Really changed the complexion of the game heading into that second intermission. You see the Hornets out shooting Wayzata 8-6 in the second after the Trojans had thoroughly dominated the first in terms of shots. And penalties did come into play as each team does have one power play goal, and things were starting to get very physical at the end of the second period. I think it's going to be key for both teams to try and stay out of the box as we head to period number 3. The action really heating up here. 3-1 Hornets as we take a break and get set for period 3 here on CCX Sports. as expected, a great hockey game here tonight, and it's kind of been a tale of two periods. Wayzata definitely dominated the first, but had nothing to show for it as we were still at zeros, and then Edina, though, capitalizing on 3 chances in the second. They will take a 3-1 lead into the third. We'll see who comes out better here in this third period. Just want to stack good shifts one after the other. Intensity and effort on every shift out here, especially obviously if you're the Trojans. Oh boy, the puck sticking on wet ice there. And Edina offside as D. St. Hubert trying to make that pass, and the puck just stuck in place. Edina didn't play especially well in the first. They played pretty well in the second, and Kurt Giles' expression didn't change either way. Clark up with the puck here for the Trojans. Gengler relaying it ahead. Vellner getting back to it for Edina. Pass got away. Gengler playing it back down. Wallen kicking it to his stick there. But Vellner up with it for the Hornets. Halverson, and now whacked into the corner. Alstead back to play it there. Gengler throwing a check, and Halverson took it away, but then Alstead intercepts his pass. Alstead giving it to Reese Wallen. Wallen getting to the front, and never quite got a shot as there was too much traffic. Alstead up with it. He's going to fire that shot. Everyone was expecting a pass to Kieran, and instead he took the shot. Scorer back up with it here, and back it'll come into the zone offside. Again, these teams will meet in the last regular season game over at Braemar, which I have to believe both coaches wouldn't choose that scenario to play right at the end of the regular season, and then, you know, presumably may very well turn around and play again in section play, but that's just the way it worked out. Banked ahead, and it skips away. Moldy then receiving the pass off the wall here. Moldy trying to keep it free from Dexheimer, and does. Moldy will look to the point with it. And across. Finn D. St. Hubert. Ooh, that one was tipped wide. Bertram was tracking the puck well, but it changed direction out front, and all he could hope was that it didn't hit the net at that point. Another look, and I was thinking this is probably something Wayzata talked about as we, make sure we're getting traffic in front. That's how they scored their first goal. And that one could have been trouble for Edina, but it ended up not being on net. Miller jumps in to pick it up, trying to get it to Matson out front. Clark sliding it down, Miller shooting. Wayzata coming with some intensity here on this shift. Miller over to D. St. Hubert. Matson jumps in, his pass though blocked on the sliding play. Good work there by Hoke. Kermey getting it in deep into the Wayzata zone. And it's chopped loose, a little chance out front. And the stop made there by Turek. And kind of an unfortunate bounce for Wayzata, and it almost turned into a great opportunity for the Hornets. Clark carrying it ahead, but he met up with Vellner, who knocked it away and took it. Wallen batting it back out to center. Now Clark lofting it to Gengler. Gengler shot blocked. Clark getting in. He's not afraid to jump into the play. He had a great chance earlier in the game. The offensive defenseman Carson Clark. Huff controlling here for the Trojans. His pass into the skates of Mason West. Gives it to Nevers. Nevers jumping in, fires, save, Turek, rebound is a goal. Hornets lead grows as Cowan buries that rebound. Looks like they're not going to count this one. I did not see what led to the... They're going over to explain it now to Kurt Giles. So here's Nevers with the shot. Oh, it might be goal in the crease there, perhaps. As Nevers colliding with Turek. Yeah, that must be what they called. They did not call a penalty, though, so they did not call goalie interference, but calling him for being in the crease there. So it stays at 3-1. Near miss for the Hornets. It was hard to tell. I mean, a few of the Edina guys were celebrating. They thought it was a goal, and then everything just kind of came to a halt there. I didn't see an initial signal, but... And that play is offside at the blue line. I mean, Edina, I guess they're hoping it was a goal, but at the same time, you really probably could have almost called Nevers for goalie interference there as he came into Turek. It wasn't just that he was in the crease, he ran into him. So unfortunate for them that they don't get the goal, but fortunate that they don't get a penalty out of it. That's big for Wayzata to still be within striking distance at 2 here. Oh, lofted out front. Kieran up with the puck here, took a bump. Dexheimer, great work to take the body and then get the puck. Clark breaks up that long pass. Finn D. St. Hubert. And knocked down and thrown back into the Wayzata zone. Trojans desperately trying to find the mojo they had in the first period where they were pretty dominant but couldn't score. Ooh, that one deflecting wide out front after a turnover. Another pass coming out front. Kieran intercepting that. Here's Eli Moldy. Trojans are changing behind him and he's knocked off the puck. Halverson receiving the pass here. He's all alone as they were finishing a change. And dump back in. Hornets will regroup and complete that line change. Wallen. Chase back here for the Trojans. Will bank it ahead to score. Alstead going to the net. Here's his shot and Bertram the save. Good quick trigger there for Alstead as Score put the pass on his stick and Bertram had to make a big stop to keep it at 3-1. Good timing as he drops it off. I don't know, it didn't look like Alstead really hit it. He wanted to get rid of it quick, which he did, and it was still a good shot, but it didn't look like he got all of it. Wallen shooting, that one is blocked. Dexheimer had to get away and Wallen jumps in to take it. Wallen strong with the puck behind the net. Hornets got it to the line but not out. Ooh, just tipped away from Alstead, but Gengler picks it up. His shot deflected. Wallen gaining control. Good job cycling here on this shift for Wayzata. Alstead spinning out of the corner, giving it back to Gengler. Pass hit the back of the net. Gengler gets it right back though and trying to tuck it in. Alstead to Gengler. Trojans trying to change their D so they keep it pinned in deep there. Ooh, big check thrown by Miller, but here comes Flaherty. Chance for a 2-on-1 for the Hornets. Flaherty firing. Turek to save. The rebound is in. And this time it'll count. Buried on the rebound by Caleb Pitsley. And the Hornets lead now is 4-1. Boy, Wayzata had such a good shift going. But then they get caught up ice and it turns into a 2-on-1. And a great job by Flaherty to get it across to Pitsley. See right there when they were able to tip it past the pinching defenseman, D. St. Hubert. Flaherty firing. And then the rebound put in by Pitsley. It's a deserved assist, even though he didn't pass that one, I think, by Flaherty. He took that hard shot and gave the sophomore Pitsley room to get to it on the rebound. Pitsley's second goal of the year. So Flaherty gets the assist, and the air coming out of the Trojans crowd a little bit here as it goes to 4-1. Keep in mind they're undefeated coming in. They had ties against Eden Prairie and Minnetonka, but trailing Edina now 4-1. And which after the first period, I don't know that you would have believed that would be the score at this point. Wayzata was quite dominant in the first. Cowan took a hit. Here's Cade D. St. Hubert with Matson. Now trying to get it to the trailer, but he was checked. Good work there by Vellner. And now the Trojans, Clark will have to regroup here. We're under 10 minutes to play. It's a potent Wayzata team, and it certainly isn't out of their reach yet, but that fourth goal going in certainly doesn't help their cause. Cowan dropping it back. Dexheimer's shot goes just wide. And Kieran will lift it out to center. Dexheimer up with it. Carried down deep. Clark trying to free it up as he checks Kermey. Schaefer goes down, but they keep the puck. Just very sound teams, both of these two. They don't really have to be told the way to play with the lead or things like that. Edina doing some smart things with the puck. Make them come all the way up ice. Don't give any bad turnovers or anything. Not to say that might not happen at some point, because the other team's pretty good too, but they just well-schooled hockey all the way up for these teams. Gengler trying to free it up. Alstead jumps in to help out. Gengler up with it. His centering pass, though, was blocked. And Score puts one on net. Here's a rebound, and Bertram ranging over. He has continued to be solid all night. And then hacked out of there. That'll be icing against the Hornets. So we'll come back into the Wayzata zone with 8:04 to play here in the third. Edina leading Wayzata by a score of 4-1. Again, Trojans will be hitting the road to go up north. They play Roseau on Thursday night at Roseau, and then they play Moorhead at Warroad outdoors, Hockey Day, Minnesota on Saturday. So that'll be an afternoon game. It's actually going to be fairly warm in Warroad. It sounds like maybe almost warmer than you'd like, but I guess that's better than I was talking to Pat O'Leary about that. If it had been last weekend, it would have been pretty brutal out. Turek the save, a big rebound, tipped loose out front, puck bouncing around, and the Hornets trying to capitalize again. Centering pass error by Pitsley, but that one was blocked. Finn D. St. Hubert tied up in the corner. Pitsley out of there with it. And then knocked loose, and Gengler will lead the rush back the other way for Wayzata. Gengler backhanding it in. Vellner will start it from behind the net here for the Hornets. Flaherty, nice pass ahead to Pitsley. Carrying it in and then sliding it toward Nevers, who was deflected away. Pitsley's been out there for a while. I'm thinking he would like to get off, or they'd like him to get off anyway. Miller stood up and takes a hit at the blue line. That'll be offside. Good job defensively. So they jump up and meet Miller, not allowing an easy entry there. Not hard to see why the Hornets have only lost twice this year. Let me look at this. Great job on the back check as Peckham stood him up at the blue line. Matson blocking that pass. Finds Miller. Trying to get it out front to D. St. Hubert, but again, the Hornets good with their stick. Boy, and you think back to that first period, the job they did defensively and in particular in net really kept them in it at 0-0. Cowan trying to float it ahead and does, and then they try to go weak side for Nevers. And this one deflected up and out of play here. 6:14 to go. Edina's had a couple of really nice tic-tac-toe kind of goals, and they were looking for a third right there. But the last play was the puck was deflected out of there. Doesn't seem like anybody's leaving yet. Wayzata fans still hopeful that they can have time to try and come back here, but down 4-1. Kieran sending it ahead, and then he took a hit. Schaefer wheeling up the right wing for the Hornets. Ran into Clark, and Findy St. Hubert gets it across now to Moldy. Back over a little too far there. Oh, good hustle by Ludke to get to that one. Moldy dropping it to Findy St. Hubert. His shot, though, was blocked by Hoke. Kieran gaining control. Oh, we had a couple guys tangled up and go down. Referee telling them get up. They were both kind of equally at fault. It looked like Miller mixing it up with Peckham. Or make that Ludke. So referee indicating I saw it, but it was both guys, and I'll let you stay out of the box if you get up now and break it up, and they did. Clark takes a hit. Hitting is really growing, and sometimes later in a game, one team's a little frustrated, the other wants to put an exclamation point on. Here's Halverson sliding it across, but Huff got a piece of it to break it up. Alstead carrying it in. Boy, guys are really looking to line up big hits right now. Gengler goes down. Oof, there's a huge collision. Arm goes up here, and let's see what we're going to have for a call. Looks like it's going to be interference, and apparently against Halverson. Oof, a high hit there. And it will be Halverson going for that hit, an interference call. I thought at first that he just got the better of the collision, that it was kind of an equal, and I think that's maybe what Kurt Giles is voicing right now, is that they both came in for the puck, but it is going to be a penalty against Halverson of Edina, so the Trojans get a much-needed power play here, down 4-1. A little over 4.5 to go. Back out to Huff at the point. Findy St. Hubert back to Huff. They keep it moving there, and Miller's shot was deflected wide. Cade D. St. Hubert. Knocked away briefly, but he gets it back. Tried to slide it across. That one was blocked. Findy St. Hubert to Matson. And Miller falling, and that allows Edina to clear it. Turek out playing it for Huff. Under 4 minutes to go now. He'll leave it for Findy St. Hubert. Wayzata needing one badly here. Miller up the left side. He'll drop it off. D. St. Hubert, Cade D. St. Hubert that is. He carries it in, slides it across. Oh, and Bertram ranging across to deny Miller. Cade D. St. Hubert keeping possession here to Miller in the circle. And it bounces over toward Matson, but then knocked away. Good stick by Dexheimer, and he'll roll it down and allow the Hornets to change their penalty killers. And then this pass is beyond the reach of Moldy, and it'll be icing against the Trojans. So just 3:17 to go here in the third, and Wayzata looking like they might be on their way to the first loss of the season. They still have 43 seconds to go on a power play, though. Clark trying to get the rush started up ice. Moldy is pressured, though, and they give it up. Oh, and then Clark took it right back. Carrying it in. Clark will get their power play set up. Gengler tipping it to the middle. Swing and a miss on the clearing attempt. Now Alstead a shot. Bertram the save. One of the few mistakes really down the stretch for Edina right there as they couldn't clear. Alstead had it chopped away. Gengler relaying it back around the wall here. Clark hustles over to keep it in. And that shot deflected up out of play. Edina loving it. Boy, they've been blocking a lot of shots. It's not the most glamorous part of hockey, but they have been great at that here this evening. Their defense has generally played quite well with a few lapses in the first period that Bertram bailed them out on, but since then they've been pretty dynamite. Off the draw, shot attempt there, blocked, second try, and Bertram able to make a save there. Colton Bierman getting that attempt away for the Trojans. See, the first one blocked and it turned into a better try on the second. And that one hacked over the net. Hornets able to get it out there, back to full strength. Nevers battling with Huff. Pass tip, but it still gets over to Bierman. Trying to carry it in, he was dumped. Kieran up with it for the Trojans. And here's turnaround try, then the rebound. Fandon as Bierman gets control. Playing it around deep toward Kieran here as we're under 2 minutes to play. 4-1 Edina, looking to hand Wayzata its first loss of the season. And again, the teams will meet in the end of the regular season over at Braemar. Peckham over to retrieve it here for the Hornets. And that one goes past a bunch of players down the way, so no icing as it was tipped there as well. Kept in at the line. Pass comes out front. Here's Flaherty looking for the hat trick there, but missed the net. Pitsley playing it in behind. Dexheimer will chop it right back. Pitsley up with it, puts it out front for Flaherty. Oh, and Turek having to make a big save there. Under a minute to go now in the third. Kind of an anticlimactic ending, a little bit surprising, but Edina doing a solid job of playing with the lead and adding one goal here in this third period. Going to be a disappointing outcome for Wayzata. They played very well in the first period, but they're going to have to try and bounce back as they head up north to play against a couple of good opponents up there as well. Here's Miller shooting, that one deflecting away. Ben Neuenfeld sending it back down deep. D. St. Hubert's pass went off a skate. Dexheimer, a nice move to avoid the forechecker there. Floated back into the Wayzata zone. It is going to get there for icing with 6 seconds remaining in the game, but Edina, both teams came in with 14 wins. The Hornets going to pick up win number 15 as you see the crowd definitely filing out now down these last stretches here as Kurt Giles will see his team, really hold off Wayzata in that first period. The Trojans had plenty of jump and played very well early, and they're just going to let that one not be an ice call there as they'll let the clock tick to 0. So Edina, an impressive victory here tonight. Again, kind of weathering the storm in the first period after the Trojans were all over them, and then a 3-1 advantage in the second for Edina, and they get the only goal of the third. So congrats to the Hornets on the win, and best of luck to Wayzata again as they head up north, and watch for the Trojans on Hockey Day, Minnesota as they take on Moorhead up in Hockeytown up in Warroad. Hope you've enjoyed this one here tonight, and watch for more hockey down the stretch here on CCX. Edina 4, Wayzata 1, our final score here tonight. For the rest of our CCX crew, I'm Jay Wilcox. Good night from Plymouth Ice Center.